I'm Dane, and this is Dane Explains. On our wedding day, most of us say the phrase, "To death do we part." This was referring to the marriage covenant that is only broken with death. But when you go to heaven, you'll still love your spouse, right? Well, what happens if you go to heaven and your spouse goes to hell? Will you be sad? Will you miss them? Or will you not care at all? Let me explain. It's said that we won't feel any pain in heaven. Is this true? Probably the best place to see how people in heaven are going to feel is in the book of Revelation. It's the only canonical detailed description of what heaven is like and how the people in heaven are doing and how they're acting. Now, probably much of what we see in the book of Revelation is a metaphorical representation of actual heaven, but I think it's safe to assume that anyone the writer John saw that was described as a person was someone who was once alive or will be alive at some point. Now, I'm not going to read all the passages, but the first thing I'd like to get out of the way is Revelation 5:4, where John weeps bitterly. 2 points here. 1, he is still alive on earth at this point. Also, it says that he was brought there in spirit. So, it's a vision, not an actual journey. So that passage can be discounted when thinking about what people in heaven would be feeling. If we look at how the people that John sees are acting, the complexity of their emotions don't seem particularly high, at least in the narrative. They are all pretty much praying and worshiping God. In heaven, worshiping God is supposed to bring us great joy. And if you don't think that will be the case for you when you get there, perhaps you need to reevaluate some things. In Revelation 6:10, the martyrs cry out in a loud voice to ask God when justice will be done for their deaths. But a question does not a negative emotion make. The next part of interest is Revelation 7:17, describing what happens to martyrs, where it says, God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. That seems to indicate there will be pain, in the form of sadness anyway. But that's reading in between the lines, because it doesn't say they will have these tears in heaven, just that God will wipe them away after it already goes over a litany of other pains they will never have to experience again. In fact, I think it's this passage that points us in the correct direction. God wipes away every tear. What causes tears? Both physical and emotional pains. So, when the phrase every tear is used, that means every pain. From that, we can gather that we won't be feeling any kind of pain, physical or emotional. The good question is, how could that be? We cry and feel pain when a loved one has died, even if we believe they're in heaven. How are we going to feel if we get to heaven and find out that that loved one went to hell? I don't think we'll feel good about it, but we won't feel bad either. The reason is because of one of the most major differences between heaven and earth, and that's the direct connection to God we'll have in heaven. When we see who went to hell and why, through the eyes of God, we'll see there is no room for sorrow because God's compassion and justice is perfect, and sorrow and pain come out of the fallen nature of earthly life. Everything fallen will be washed away for those who enter heaven. So if one of your loved ones goes to hell, will you still love them? Yes, but you will love them with a perfect love through the eyes of God. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button. Subscribe to my channel and ding the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Also, please support me on Patreon, link in the description. The more people support me, the more time I can dedicate to making videos like this one. So, until next time, have a great week.